Hello, this is Pastor Nick Hood. I want to share with you what my sermon is about this Sunday. I'm entitling it, Praying for the Little Things. We're all accustomed to praying for the big things. Lord, give me a job. Lord, guide the hands of the surgeon who's going to be operating on me. Lord, put some money in my pocket so I can feed my family. Those are big prayers. But you know, sometimes, and I hate to confess this, I've prayed and really spent a lot of time praying on little prayers. And I wonder sometimes I'm almost ashamed to admit some of the things I pray for that I think are little prayers. Number one, Lord, it's crowded on this street. Can you get me a parking space? Lord, I'm in the grocery store. And my grocery store is small, but I'm trying to step up my cooking and I want to add capers. Do they sell capers? Will capers be on the shelf? You know, and is that worthy of a prayer? Lord, you know, I'm going to CVS and I want to get some shampoo. And I'm praying that they will have shampoo on the shelf. Lord, my family is looking for a PCR test to make sure nobody has the coronavirus. You know, can you make the coronavirus PCR test available in the CVS? And the list goes on and on and on. And sometimes I wonder, should I bother God? You know, and if I bother God with the little things, am I going to use up my prayer chits? Because when I get to the big thing, I want the Lord to hear me. You know, and I'm really fortunate as a pastor. I'm in my coming into my 46th year now. And, you know, I have all kind of pastoral requests that I pray for. People call me up and they say, will you write a letter to a judge for leniency in sentencing me? I know I did wrong, but will you stand up for me? Well, not only do I write the letter, but I pray for the person. You know, I have young women, not just in Detroit, but around the country, who call me up and they'll say, Reverend Hood, I'm going into labor right now. Will you pray for me? And of course, I pray for them. And then after the baby is born, they text me pictures. And so to me, those are prayers for big things. You know, person has a stroke, they have a heart attack. Will you pray for me? Of course. But to me, those are big prayers. And so in my sermon Sunday, what I am really talking about is a life of prayer. I don't think we should reserve prayers for just the big things. I think if you pray over the little things, by the time the big things come along, you will be ready. And so that's what I'm preaching about Sunday. If you want to learn more about it, flip in your Bible to Mark chapter 9. It's also in, I believe, Matthew 19 and somewhere at Luke, where there's a story about Jesus praying for an epileptic boy. And in praying for the boy, the disciples wonder, how come you could heal him, Jesus, but we couldn't? Now, that lets you know some of the ridiculous mindset of the disciples sometimes. Jesus, why could you do it and we couldn't do it? Well, he could do it because he's Jesus. They couldn't do it because they're not Jesus. But Jesus told them, with man, things are impossible, but with God, all things are possible. But then Jesus goes on to tell them, he said, this boy was healed because what was in him could only come out through prayer. Now think about that. There's some things in life that you can do without prayer. You can make a baby without prayer. Believe me, there are a lot of babies that have been conceived where there was not a minute's worth of prayer in the process. And that's not funny because sometimes those little babies get left behind. But you can make a baby without prayer. But You know, if you want to get on with life and make the most out of a good life, you need prayer. And so that's what I'm preaching about Sunday, praying for the little things, but I'm also going to be preaching about pray for the big things as well. Thanks so much for taking a moment to look at this. God bless, God keep you, and remember, among other things, I am praying for you.